Hey babies, it is Tesh here, and today I want to talk to you guys about relationships, about healthy, productive relationships, because a lot of us have gotten accustomed to relationships that your needs are not being met, and y'all know how I feel about that. So lately, there has been an influx of clients who has called in about not just not having healthy relationships, but then the balance in the relationship is off. They're doing 90% of the work. The other person is just coming in with crumbs, coming in with the crumbs they were able to pick up from whatever they themselves were able to drop. The partner is coming in with those crumbs to then offer them and say, here, this is my contribution to the relationship. And that is a problem. We have too many people dealing with this type of dynamic, and it is unhealthy. It shows a lack of self-worth and self-value within yourself when you get in a relationship with people who feel like they can crumb you. It seems as if you become an algae eater. You start just eating anything anybody has to offer you. And that is unhealthy living, my loves. You cannot live like that. And it stems from childhood wounding, like previous lifetimes that you've been in, wounding from there. All of those things cause you to feel like you have to hold on to insignificant relationships. And yes, there are relationships that are very insignificant. There are relationships where you need to gauge if those people are worthy of being in your presence. And I know that in this day and age, people want to feel good and you have to make everybody feel included. But when it comes to your life, when it comes to your inner circle, you need to learn to be very protective of that energy. You can't just have anybody in it because they just want to be a part of it. That's not how it works anymore. Okay? So when you're in a relationship, there always has to be a general, equal, even flow of energy going back and forth. When you're in relationships where everybody is on your back, and I don't care if you are the person who made it in the family and everybody in the family at this point depends on you for finances, this is the same thing. I don't care if you're in a romantic relationship and the person only provides sex and then you have to pay the bills, come home and cook, clean, and do everything else. That's a problem. That's a problem. And a lot of you guys, y'all just want someone with you. It doesn't matter if they're there to support you when you're down and out and they're not there. It doesn't matter because eventually they'll come back and you'll have somebody there. And that's a reflection of low self-worth. I don't want to sound harsh when I say that, but that is the truth. You have to be accountable for the energy that you allow around you and the experiences that you allow people to have around you. If every time somebody comes around you and they're draining the energy out of the room, they're disrespecting, they're nasty, their language is foul or they're just foul, it's up to you to correct that. And it's not to go to that person and say, oh, I don't like the way you act when you're in here. And no, you don't waste your time because they are acting in accordance to how they feel it's appropriate to act, how everybody has allowed them to act thus far. And a lot of times people will think that because I've always been that way, everybody should just accept it. And that is not the case. You have to set a precedence for the energy that you allow in the room. So from then on, when you see a person act a certain way and it's not in alignment with who you are, let that be that person has embarrassed you in public. Let that be that person has done something the way they ate the food. Could be a problem for you. Some people eat like savages. That's a problem. You're not going to inhale in front of me like you done lost your mind. No. So when you're having these type of moments with people where you're noticing that your boundaries are being crossed, then what you need to do is not be around them. Don't invite them to the next dinner. Even if everybody else enjoys their antics, if you don't enjoy it and it's your house, don't invite them to the next dinner. Tell the other people to invite them to their dinner. Okay? It's that simple. Don't bring them into your world. Don't introduce them into your new friend group. Because what's going to happen is they're going to sabotage those relationships. You ever heard that saying that everybody can't rise to the top with you? Now, it's not that you have to be disrespectful and mean and rude and, oh, no, I'm beyond, and none of that, because you're never not beyond. But the reality is that if you just don't conduct yourself a certain way and you're ascending, your soul is ascending, then you have to follow that path. And if that means that you don't keep people around who are unhealthy or don't know how to conduct themselves in certain environments or feel uncomfortable in certain environments, let's just call a thing, then that's that. It is what it is. And you can't keep coddling and holding people's hands and trying to get them to understand your point of view. It's not for you to do that. It's for you to pay attention to people's behaviors. If it doesn't align with who you are, it is okay to move on. And it is that simple. And you don't have to give any explanation about it. Now, I'm not saying cut people off and never speak to your best friends and never speak to your cousins and none of that. But what I am saying is, let's say you're the person out of the family that has made it. This happens where you're the only one that made it out the hood. It is not then for you to go get your whole family and move them into the suburbs with you so that now you've moved the hood into the suburbs and then you got the homeowners association trying to buy back your house and evict you and your family because you bought the hood with you. No. What you do is you live beautifully with your wife and children in your new area that you've worked so hard to be in. And then you meet the family at the family reunion. If you make too much money to go and visit them in the hood, then you invite them to dinner. You meet them on vacation and you take your family vacation, road trip vacations. Be sensible about things. And maybe you can do things like buy the food for the family reunion. Pay for the hall for the family reunion or the dance or something, if you're going to be the one that's helping. But when you try to take the whole family and put them on your back, number one, you're not going to be appreciated. I think y'all have already learned that lesson, that no good deed is unpunished. You're not appreciated for your hard work. You're not appreciated that you're the one that studied and did the work and went to school, and they don't appreciate that. What they want is the benefit of whatever it is you've achieved. That's the reality. They don't want to do the work themselves because if they did, they would have. And a lot of times, y'all all had the same experiences. People will try to say, oh, you got it better than me. No, we just made different decisions that got us here. And that's the reality of life sometimes. And it's not for the one that made it now to suffer and feel bad because you've worked so hard to get somewhere. Now you got to come back and put everybody on the family on your back. That's not how it works. A lot of times you'll be the one that's always there for everybody. The siblings want to borrow your car. They want you to babysit. The cousins need you to babysit. You don't even have children, but you're babysitting. And you may love babies, but you always end up being the one that's like burdened. You got to be buying this one, this, and taking care of children that, it becomes a lot when you're the one that's always doing and have everybody on your back. And you'll be the one with your parents on your back, your siblings on your back, your own children. And then your spouse is upset with you because you have all these people on their back. Meanwhile, their family is probably trying to ride the coattail too. And it's only but so much space on the coattail. So in order for the family to really succeed in this world, if you're really trying to make it out here, real talk, you're going to have to cut everybody off. Focus on the nucleus, which is you and your immediate family, your children and your spouse. You continue to build that up. You raise your children to do the right thing. That's how you set the generational tone. There's no way you're going to be able to go back and save anybody, because the reality is everybody has made their decisions and God is going to make them live it out, even if you come and help them. And what I have noticed in my years, over a decade of healing people, is that no matter what anybody does to save you, when God is ready to put his finger on you, honey, and let you feel it, it's nothing nobody can do. You're going to feel it. When somebody's ready to put their finger on you and make you feel it, you're going to feel it. It is what it is. So, and it's no amount of money, cousins, uncles. I've seen people help people with hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know what God do? God say, oh, you gonna jump in and help her like that? I'm going to put your ass in jail. And that's what he did. He put their ass in jail. He said, okay, fine. Fine. That's what he did. So have it your way. When God is trying to teach people a lesson, you have to move out of the way and let them find their way. I promise you, God is not going to leave any soul left behind. Even if you die on this earth and you did not commit to your purpose, he going to have you reborn and you're going to be out here again, living amongst us, learning the way. And at that point, you'll be reborn into the new world order. So you'll definitely be learning your way this time, because all of that teaching, that generational teaching, that stuff is coming to an end. It's now true soul work that we have to do. It's no more pretending and acting like you're civilized and then you're really a terrible, awful person who's willing to do anything for anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that anymore. I mean, maybe for some people, I don't know. I don't associate with people like that. So I don't know how they operate anymore. Thank God. Anyway, the bottom line is there always has to be a balance in the relationship. That's it. That's all. I don't care if it's family, friends, lovers, even with your children. Make sure the relationship is balanced. Make sure that your needs are being met. And not in a sprinkle crumb type of way, not in a minute way where you come and all you do is hold your hand like this and I got to do all the work. And then you still get half the credit. No more of that. No more of that. No. You're going to get your needs met, okay? And how you do that is you don't allow people in your world that has not done the work to be there. Period. So that's about it. I know that's a bit strange for me to come on here and talk about, but I really wanted to touch on that because we have a lot of people that are just being fully taken advantage of. Financially, sexually, emotionally. It's just a travesty. And we want the best for everybody. All right. So I will see y'all in the next video. If y'all have any questions, if you want to book a reading, or if you want to learn magic, check out the description box below. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. At this point, I invite you to join my mystery school, where I have created a safe place for you to learn magic and how to make your own metaphysical products. You get weekly life lessons where I teach love, money, banishing, and protection spells. You get a weekly tarot class. I do monthly prosperity spells for my top tier. And you get exclusive early access and commercial-free content. Join today at patreon.com/Insight by Tesh.